What's up, guys? It's me, JellyKnees, and we're going to talk about all the crazy complex stuff like pathing and stats and all those things that we haven't talked about yet. But first, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of June. So, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Send this, share this with friends, the whole 9 yards. Get them hyped about Ethereal just like we are. And let's get into the stats. So, first off, I want to kind of talk about something real quick, and that's Malaya's stats. So if we look at Malaya's stats on screen, you guys are able to see that she starts with 55 physical power, no magical power, 30 armor, 25 magic resist, 525 health, 8.5 health per 5, 385 mana, 6 mana per 5, 0.735 attack speed, 0 crit chance, 0 cooldown reduction, and 480 move speed. Now, each of these stats have various increases or they don't increase at all when Malaya levels up. Now, we'll go into the breakdown of what the levels look like in a little bit here. But what you need to know is for her physical power, she gains 4 physical power per level, no magical power per level, 3 armor, 1.5 magic resist, 81 health, 0.68 health per 5, 32 mana, 0.47 mana per 5, 0.022 attack speed, no crit chance, no cooldown reduction, and no movement speed. So those are Malaya's stats, just baseline when you're leveling her up throughout the game. Now that we've talked about Malaya, I want to go more into the jungle and talk about those stats with you guys. I know we already broke down each individual camp, but I want to get a little more particular with you. So just as a reminder, we have the jungle camps. We have the lizards at 35 XP each, skifters at 35 XP each, the trolls at 69 XP, the buffs are at 125 XP, and the chonkers give 120 or 150 XP. So the big thing here is that those camps are going to be spread out all over the place. If you guys remember, I'll show it on screen again. Skifter gave me a really rough outline of where the camps were laid out that he quickly drew. So naturally, as I do, I created a much nicer, prettier version for you guys that you can see on screen now. It shows you where the camps are all laid out. The first letter of each camp is the correspondent to the letter that shows on the map. And the dotted lines are where the actual lane runs in conjunction with those camps. So for fire lane, you see the red line, the red dotted line, void lane, purple dotted line, and ice lane, the blue dotted line. So that's the actual lane themselves and how they split the camps across. So using that information and the next bit that we'll talk about right now, which is the level breakdown. So from level 1 to 2, it takes 200 XP. From level 2 to 3, it takes 250. Level 3 to 4, 300, and so on and so forth. Every level increases the required amount by 50. So for instance, if I want to go from level 1 to level 3, I need a total of 400 XP to do so. It's cumulative, or it's not cumulative. Sorry, it refreshes every time you level. So 200 level 1 to 2, 250 to level 2 to 3. So using the camp breakdown and the layout and the level breakdown, I actually created a couple of jungle paths for us to use. So what we can do is we'll use this first jungle path as an example. We start in the fire lane. We go to the lizard camp that's on the bottom there. That lizard camp has 2 lizards when they spawn. So that'll be a total of 70 XP once we clear that camp. If we move on over to the red buff, when we kill that red buff, we're going to get 120 XP, which is not quite enough to level up yet. So we'll have to go to the skifter camp. There are 3 skifters in that camp. Once we kill that, we will actually hit level 2. We'll actually hit level 2 after the first one, but from there, by the end of the camp, we'll be level 2 and some change. We can then go to a lizard camp, which has another 2 lizards, adding another 70 XP. And then you kind of have a choice here, but I think the best option would probably be to go to the troll camp. Now, this, because of the rotational buff, we'll be able to deny that from the enemy team on the fire lane, as well as it'll give you 69 XP, nice, but toward your level. Once you kill that troll camp, you have a choice to make. You'll be 16 XP away from level 3. So you can either go try and take on the chonker, You can go to another lane, potentially counter jungle to get that 16 XP, or you can try and gank the lane, the fire lane there, and soak some of that XP up from the minions in the lane and hit that level 3 kind of mid gank. So if you have a good level 2 power spike, you can actually go gank the lane, no problem. If you need that level 3, you have to make a choice there and see what you really want to do and how you want to progress. A second option would be starting in the void lane. I kind of looked at this one and I wasn't sure what the best point of starting would be, but I actually believe starting at purple buff as a jungler could be really beneficial. Purple buff has low damage and no armor, and that's 1600 health. So we can use that as a really easy starting camp and kind of get that started. Plus, we'll get that 8% damage boost going into the following camps. So for this start, we have a purple buff start. Then we transition into a lizard camp. There's a lizard camp nearby that has 4 lizards. So between purple buff and that lizard camp, you actually hit level 2. At this point, if you have a strong level 2, you could go try and gank the void lane if they're already pushed up, or you can continue in your clear. So then you would go to the skifter camp that's right nearby that has 2 skifters, go across the lane. There's another skifter camp with 2 skifters, and then you go from there to get the green buff. At this point, your purple buff will probably have expired because it only lasts a minute, but you'll have the green buff, which is the regenerative shield. You will also be level 3 at this point. So then you can really expand your options. With that shield, you can push on to a gank in that middle lane or in the void lane and hopefully get your laner ahead or get you ahead. You could also transition to ice or fire, gank that lane, and then start clearing camps around there as well. Or you could just go for a straight counter jungle. Since you have that green buff, if you're faster at this clear than your enemy jungler, there's the potential for you to go through and get an early counter jungle off or get a kill on the enemy jungler and gain a lot of ground that way. I actually really like this start. This is one that I'll probably try out myself once we're able to play the game and have hands-on experience with that. The third path that I have starts you in the ice lane. This is kind of a mirror of the first path, just in the ice lane instead of the fire lane. So you start with a skifter camp that has 2 skifters. You go get the blue buff. Then you transition to another skifter camp near the chonker. After that camp, you'll hit level 2. Then you'll have a lizard camp, and then you can make that same choice of troll, chonker, another lane, or going for a gank because you'll be 16 XP away from that level 3 increase in stats and also your third ability. Overall, I think that the strongest of these 3 is probably the second one, giving you that level 3 guaranteed before you have to go to gank a lane. Plus, you still have that green buff as well. The fire lane is probably next on my list of being a stronger start because you have that red buff that'll help you clear camps a little bit faster, but also help you in a gank if you should go for it. And then the blue buff being the third one here. That is, I don't think is bad necessarily, but I don't think is as strong as the other 2. Now, what I would love to see from you guys is using the kind of breakdown that I provided. I would love to see you guys create your own jungle paths, maybe something I haven't thought of, or a better, more efficient path that I'd love to see come from you guys and all of those things. So, like I said, I'll have all of these resources in the video. You can come back to the video, look at them, break down your jungle pathing, leave it in the comments below, send it to me on Discord, send it to me in the Ethereal Discord, whatever works for you guys. I would love to see these breakdowns coming from you and kind of just your thoughts and feelings as a whole about the jungle XP, what the potential rotations are, about Malaya's stats, all of those good things. But guys, that's all I had for you today. A lot of work goes into these videos and trying to find these breakdowns, get all the information for you guys. So I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, leave a comment, and get subscribed. It means the absolute world to me and it helps me out a ton. If you guys want to see more Ethereal content, click right over here and it'll give you all my videos on Ethereal. If you want to see a video made just for you, click right on the other side. Then as always, click above my head, get subscribed, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.